Tim Panasic for Gibbons Motor Toys. Today we're going to talk about the Stabicraft 2500 that we used on a fishing trip to the West Coast recently. So I just wanted to, this is basically a follow-up video, so I'm not going to go through many of the specs and such, since those are all available on our website. What we want to tell you about is the experience that we had and the features of the boat that we found that are going to work for some people and perhaps may not work for some other people. Start by saying that the one thing about this 2500 package with the 7,900 pound trailer that it's on with twin outboards and a kicker is that the weight of this boat fully rigged, and we'll show you the accessories on this boat as we get to the inside, but a very well equipped boat is going to weigh approximately 7,400 to 7,500 pounds without fluids or gear in the boat. So towing it on our trip, we were basically right around 8,500 to 9,000 pounds with a boat fully loaded with all our gear that we had to last us for 8 days worth. We'll start by talking about the hitch. You can see there's this bar on here. So this is part of the equalizer hitch design. So I towed this behind our truck camper. So it was a truck camper, a dually 1-ton, but adding the equalizer hitch, I really didn't even know the boat was behind us. Other than the extra weight pulling it up hills, it towed flawlessly. So I think that's an important note, is that whether you got a setup like we had with a truck camper, virtually any size of motorhome, a camper van, anything that's got a tow rating of, say, in the neighborhood of 10,000 pounds, you're going to be able to tow this unit without any problems. As we look down the boat, again, all the features and stuff, we won't get into the basic stuff. We'll talk about more of the experience, but you can see by looking at the boat that, it's got the drum winch. We had radar on this. We've got solar panels, which we'll show you on the roof. So we had it rigged out to accommodate 4 of us to live on the boat for 8 days, basically. So looking at the Transom, we've got twin 175s, 15-horse kicker. We've got a TM185 transducer. We got a 3D structure scan. There's a tow ring here that I've installed for towing things when we're using it on the lake. I actually have a Sea-Doo that we pull behind with this. And I can't stress enough how nice these ladders that Stabicraft uses with the hand hold here. Really easy for egress and ingress out of the boat, particularly when it's on the trailer, as you see right here. As far as our rear deck space, the way we utilize this is we had a Camco 12-volt cooler that we plugged in underneath the helm for controlling the kicker motor. It actually worked as a good seat. The other thing that it worked as, it was a great place for, one was able to sit right here, put your feet on the cooler, and be comfortable as can be. We had a TrolMaster for controlling our throttle control, and with the electric steering that's on here, it was really, really comfortable for our fishing days. As far as the rest of the deck, like more of just Stabicraft features, but the flip-up seats are nice. You could put them in either position. These were handy. You go to net a fish, you can easily step up here. You can get to the Transom. You can net a fish on either side. We did move our downriggers to the back positions, although they can also be located more forward. We just found that the gunnel space for sitting on and for utilizing was very, very useful. We had a barbecue mounted here. What we'll do to add to this, we'll actually put a barbecue mount up here. That gets the barbecue totally out of the way when we're fishing. Same thing here with the flip-up seat on this side. And basically, the other thing I'll point out is underneath here in the back, so with the Stabicraft hull, as everybody will know, with the chambered hulls, this is all sealed, but we would put our fenders, they would nicely tuck in underneath there out of the way. Tackle boxes, extra water jugs and stuff, all managed to fit under this area out of the way. As far as fish storage, this is a huge compartment. So this is where all our fish stayed. This compartment literally goes right up. It's probably close to 5 feet long. And there is a macerator pump that actually pumps all the debris and everything out of there. So we were able to use our wash down, spray off our fish, and then all the excess smell, dirty water would all get pumped outside the hull. You can see the helm here. We have a 9-inch NSS 3 Simrad up there. We already talked about the controls. You can see the plethora of rod holders that we have up here. The grab rails when people are standing back here underway were very nice. The cabin, we'll talk about this once we get in the inside, but you could see the visibility. So having all this glass, being able to see everything, whether you're trolling or underway, or if you're in the cabin looking out, that was a really nice feature that we definitely enjoyed as well. With the interior, there was a number of things here that really exceeded our expectations. Again, 4 people on a boat for 8 days. Hauling enough gear takes a lot of planning, and we were able to find storage space for everything. So basically, you know, here's our galley. We've got a sink here. We've got a diesel stove. Diesel being very important. It's dry, so when it was wet, the diesel stove was used a lot. It's also got a diesel heater in it with vents on the dash and in the cabin, which worked awesome as well to keep the air drier. Storage is everywhere. You got storage shelf here. You got basically, we used it as a spice rack here. We hung a couple additional hangers here for dish rags, tea towel, etc. You got storage shelf here, storage shelf down here. We've got a large storage space in here that we used for all kinds of various things. You know, plates, cutlery, all that stuff went in this drawer. The space under here fit our Magma barbecue grill really nicely. The fridge in the corner worked extremely well as well. The boat's set up right now in basically the traveling position. So you got seat here, seat here. You got passenger seat in this forward position. The driver's seat has a bolster seat that lifts up and down. When you're parked, it also sits sideways to make another great place to sit, close to a countertop here to put your plate, etc. You got the same storage on the port side of the boat with storage top and bottom. You got this large area here. You got USB plug-ins, cup holders everywhere. This storage compartment here is fantastic. It's also very large. There's also storage under this cushion here, which is where we kept all our fishing tackle, etc. It all seemed to fit there, no problem. This is all storage under here. We had everything from vegetables to shoes, whatever else you wanted to fit there. And then you got the in-floor storage here, which is just a continuation in front of the fish box. And another thing that we learned was, for instance, our canned beverages. If they all got laid down on the bottom there, they actually stayed relatively cool against the water, and then we were still able to stack a pile of other gear on top of them. You got large storage space underneath the driver's seat here. This is an air ride suspension seat. You can see access to the flush toilet is available through the center here. And we'll show you what this looks like when it's put into the berth configuration. So it's showing you the V berth in this configuration. Very easy to do. So those cushions just got put in the center. There's basically just a button you push here. This folds down. Press the button here. This folds down. Here's your last piece, and this just simply slides in here. And you've got yourself actually quite a large double bed here. The other thing to point out for storage is that underneath each of these side cushions is actually a significant amount of storage. This storage is all through here, and it also comes right back up into here. So that was very nice to take advantage of, as well as the shelving in the berth here, which maybe we'll show you a little bit better. Okay, so another option you have with the V berth is through the day. You can leave the centerpiece in, or you could take it out. If you leave it in, it totally hides everything that's up there, keeps anything from sliding back, so that's an option, whatever you prefer. This seat can flip in either direction. This table is ingenious, the way it gets out of the way. You seen there was 2 cup holders there. When you open it up, the cup holders are still there. Another thing that we learnt since we were living on the boat, and I should point out that a big advantage to that is that, you know, we can get up when we wanted in the morning. We could start fishing whenever we wanted. We'd have people cooking breakfast. We'd have people fishing. If we were going to get underway and travel somewhere, we can still have food, etc. on the table. We would close this side up, have plates of stuff sitting right here, and nothing would slide back. So just another thing that we learned. As far as making this into a berth, so what happens is this just simply lifts up and folds down. There is another piece here, which we'll show you. So what we have here is an extended galley. So we'll start by showing you that. This just simply goes in here. And now you've got yourself a full workspace. So lots of times through the course of the day, if nobody was sitting here and not traveling, this would stay in place and we'd have all kinds of, our food that we were snacking on, whatever it may be. This table simply comes into the center here. So this makes this part of the V berth, or not the V berth, but the side berth. And then this simply slides out, hooks here. And then we have two filler cushions that go on here. So basically what you have is an L sleeping configuration. We were quite surprised. Nobody complained. Everybody slept well. We did have light foam mattresses that we inflated to put on top of the cushions for more comfort. But overall, we slept extremely well in the boat. It worked. It totally exceeded our expectations for comfort. So I talked about this on the aft deck, but the days where the weather was foul and we wanted to be inside and dry and comfortable, it was very easy to steer the boat from the main helm, using our Trollmaster on the kicker, and the visibility here. Anybody sitting anywhere in the boat can see all our rods at all times, which was one thing you just don't get to do with a lot of boats because there's always so many things that are in the way of your visual view of your rods. So looking at the roof, basically what we did here is I had a rubber mat. What we'll do going forward is probably build a custom rack that we'll attach to these rails up here. Roof storage is very important. Moving ahead till next year, what we learned is we'll probably have two larger 12-volt freezers, which we'll probably keep on top here. And we should be able to accommodate them as well as our crab and prawn traps up here to get everything out of the way. We got two 100-watt solar panels, and that's another thing I should probably briefly talk about. So having the lithium battery system in here with the solar panels and with the DC to DC chargers off both the main engines and the kicker, we had no problems taking us through the night. Heater, stereo, all appliances, lights. We always had, most mornings we'd wake up to anywhere between 60 and 80% of battery power still left. And as soon as you started to run the big motors and the sun came out, that was all getting replenished right away. So that worked really well. Hopefully this video has helped you understand this particular Stabicraft 2500 better. There certainly are different seating configurations in the interior and stuff, which of course our sales consultants are happy to discuss that's going to meet your needs the best. I think overall the message here is, there's a lot of boats between 22 and 28 feet that are half-ton towable, where we have proven that you can actually stay out in the water for a number of days. You just, work your way around certain amenities and you find storage space and ways to pack things. And we totally had a great time, slept comfortably, and probably had our best meals and times where we were staying out on the water and not having to return to port. So hopefully this helps give some understanding of what you can and can't do with boats in this size range.